Okay, I am sitting here with AJ Schrag. I hope that's how I say your last name,
That's how
right?
you say it, Schrag.
Okay,
You got it.
perfect. See, I
First
love this.
try.
It's first try. Bingo. We love that.
My
I
students always get it wrong. It's Scrag. They do like
Schrag.
Shrog. So that was perfect. Excellent.
Schrag, I feel like would have like the two dots over one of the letters, right? I feel like
hmm
that's the
Little
correct
accent
one.
mark. Something's in there.
Just
Yeah, yeah,
something's a
yeah.
little something.
Yep.
Okay, well, I love that. I'm sitting here with AJ Schrag, and we are going to talk everything Lululemon ambassadorship, high rocks, lifetime fitness instruction, cane footwear, all things above, and we're going to talk a little bit about Boston today. So, AJ, welcome to the Ali G Show. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm Boston, first one. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
kind of a crazy thing. I said it on a post a couple days ago that if you had told me 7 years ago that where my journey would be, where I ended up today, and kind of like culminating with running Boston, I never would have believed you in a million years. So,
I love
yeah,
it.
lots to kind of soak in. Even now, like, even today, just thinking about like and of course I'm wearing that damn medal everywhere.
You
So I
have
have.
to
Oh, you have to, yeah.
for all of eternity. Never take it off.
I was kind of worried too. Like I'm like, it's so nice. I don't want to scuff it anywhere. So like,
Hmm.
I wear it, and then like if I'm outside, I put it in the bag, but then I put it back on when I go inside. In school, I was wearing it at school. I don't care. I'm wearing that thing everywhere.
You have to
So
wear it everywhere. Are your students like mesmerized by it? Like, do they love it? Do they
you
not,
know,
or do they like not give a shit? Because, yeah, like, yeah.
some of them get it because they're in the track and field team or their cross
Hmm.
country team, so they understand the significance.
Hmm.
It's funny, and well, sure, we'll talk about it. The run club that I run. Um, some of my students have actually come to the run club and run in it, so they kind of get it.
Oh, that's really cute.
All the other kids are like, what is this?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's fine.
I love it. I love it. Well, why don't we jump right in? Do you want to start off by telling our listeners a little bit about you and maybe how you got started at Lifetime slash the Run Club and all of the things?
That
We
sounds
want
like
to
a
hear it.
plan. All right. So I'll start with my journey, my fitness journey. So if this would be 2018, I was kind of in a dark place with a lot of things in my life, personal, professional. I had made career switches, and I fell out of shape, like other people. Like not a unique story. Like
Mhm.
plenty of people have gone through that. And I went on this fitness journey where I lost 50 pounds in about 4 months,
It's amazing.
and it was just kind of like I'm going to do this. I'm going to snap into it and make all these changes. And that transformation brought me to, okay, I want to help other people do it. And it wasn't just like anybody, it was the everyday person. And what I mean
Mhm.
by that is like you see these things on Instagram where people are, you know, Instagram models or whatever they do, and their full time is fitness. And so they show you all these amazing things you can do and how fast you can get into shape, right?
Yeah.
And what they don't tell you is that they have 8 hours a day to train, and they
Yes.
have people making their food and all this stuff, right? And so I wanted to be kind of a beacon for people. Hey, I work a 9 to 5, I have a regular job, and I'm still doing all these things, and I want to show you how to do that.
Yeah. That's
So
really awesome.
that was
I
kind of my journey into fitness to start.
No, it's awesome. And I feel like that's such an important thing to note because to your point, I think a lot of people are automatically like, oh, I can't do that, or I don't have time for that, or this doesn't work for me. But
hmm
like you obviously being the example and showing them that, hey, it works for me and I work a 9 to 5 and then I go teach or then I go to run club or I go do X, Y, and Z on like a fitness level, I think is so important to share with people because I think it's just one of those things that automatically gets written off like somebody's calendar. Right. I mean, and
Com-
I say that from experience too. I have a really busy job. And sometimes in the summer, I used to be the same exact way where I'm like, oh, well, the run's the first thing to go. And then when you snap into it, you're like, oh, wait, this is the first thing that has to happen before it
You
has to
got it.
go. So that's awesome.
And most people look at some of the things and say they're so daunting. But the truth is, if you kind of take it bite size, look where you can end up, right?
Totally.
Um,
Totally. I
so
love it.
sort of fast forwarding to I'll do the last 4 years. We'll kind of skip over some stuff. But so I work as a group fitness instructor for Lifetime Fitness. I teach tread boot camp classes and strength and conditioning.
Nice.
Been doing that for almost 2 years now. The last 6 years, I've worked in fitness, whether as a personal trainer, as a nutrition coach. And then last year, I started with a couple other people the Stanford Run Club, which is
So cool.
so
You guys have the
amazing. Actually,
coolest merch ever. Like every
I've
time I see
actually
you post
got
about
wait,
it.
let's see. You can't really see it in here, but there's yeah. See, the picture's no good, but these are actually and we'll talk about Lululemon. So I'm an ambassador for them. We actually got shirts from them, and we made special
Oh,
custom
that's cool.
Stanford Run Club with Lululemon like mental vet tech. So that's
That's cool.
yeah. So
That's really
that's actually
cool.
that's really cool merch. That's
It
really cool
shows.
merch.
It shows. You do have very cool merch.
But I can't take credit for the logo. I can't take
Yeah,
credit for
who
the
made
logo.
it?
Jasmine, who's part of our team, I got to give her
Okay.
a shout out for that. She's our logo guru.
She's an
And
icon. You can
yeah,
tell her I
she's
said
all right.
that.
And we got McKenna, who does all of our social media stuff, and then Emily, who handles like a lot of organizational things. So we have a great team that we sort of built together. And we just had actually, I'm kind of jumping around here, but
No,
on
do it.
Sunday is our first official Stanford Run Club 5K. So
Whoa. Like
yeah, so we had
unsanctioned or you is
no,
this like
this is
organized?
no. So the first one was unsanctioned last year. We had 100 people.
That's
This
awesome.
year we've got a timer, we've got bibs, we've got this is like almost.
What?
I'm coming for New York no Roadrunners. No, I'm kidding. I'm not
Yeah.
coming for
Could
that.
you
I'm not
imagine?
coming for that.
Watch out NYRR.
But we have 225 runners on Sunday, and
Oh my
last night we
God.
did our bib pickup, and we had over 100 runners at the actual run. So that was like just
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what how many runners did you start with? Like way back when you started?
So it started in June of last year. There were about 30 runners came
Wow.
to our first, and it's funny because I went. So people had coaxed me, AJ, start a run club. You're a runner. You
Hmm.
do all these things, and I'm like, ugh, what day of the week am I gonna? What day
I
of the week
know.
do I have
Yeah,
time for this?
seriously.
Right. So Wednesday was the only day I didn't coach at Lifetime at the time, and so I said, all right, Wednesday nights. So I chose Wednesday nights. I sent out some Google Forms. Our original logo I just made up was total nonsense. Because it was just me at that moment. And then after the first run, like McKenna and Jasmine and Emily, we all kind of
Hmm.
came together. Um, and I was like, are people going to show up to this? Like all these people filled out this Google form. 30 people showed up.
It's
The next
amazing.
run, it was like 40 or 45, then 50. Then we had a couple like, 50s and 60s. And then there was
Hmm.
one run in July that we had like 80 or 85 people. I was like, oh crap, like this is
Yeah.
getting into something a little bit bigger here.
Yeah.
Um, and that's actually when we decided to do like an unofficial 5K for them because people had asked us to do something.
That's so
Um,
cool. You
yeah,
like
yeah,
totally built that from the ground up. That's awesome. That's so awesome. And first 5K on Sunday?
yes,
Are
yes.
you
I'm
hyped?
not
Are
running
you
it. I'm
running?
not running
Okay,
it. No,
okay.
absolutely not. Absolutely
You're
not.
just
Well,
supervising?
I'm organization, introduce the runners, and then send them on their way. That's
I
it.
love that. Are you gonna announce them at the finish line and give them a warm welcome back? Or
Oh
are you
man,
just
I really should do that. I
you
should be.
should. It's the
And this
first
person's
one.
in. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. All
But
right.
if you only if you have the technology to like call her name out. Because other than that, how are you gonna know who they I mean you probably know a
Mhm.
bunch of them.
I know.
But
I know a lot of them. So, and I kind of know who I think is going to finish first. So
mhm,
that'll kind of be an edge for me to
yeah.
just shout his. I know. He's our fastest runner. I'm pretty sure he's going to finish first.
Well, you should do
So
it.
yeah. All
Gotta
right.
give them
So
props.
I'll announce him. I'll announce him, and then that's it. I'm done. I can't do
Done.
anybody else. That's it.
And you just walk away. One name, walk away.
Yeah.
Job done. I
Drop the
love it.
mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is John Edmond too. So I'm gonna and some big and John finishing first. Done. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love this manifestation for John. He's gonna win. Like you're just so confident right now. It's
Yeah. I
amazing.
mean, well, so the running joke is so we have pacing groups. We've got
Hmm.
we've got the fast group. We've got two or three like we call them our run jog groups,
Hmm.
and we do like 8:30 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10:30, and sometimes 10:30 to 11:30. And then we have sometimes a run walk group. So they run a little bit, then they walk. And then
Hmm.
we have a walk group. And in the fast group, we don't have a pacer
Okay.
because we say, hey, you guys want to run fast? Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Here's the
Yeah.
track. Here's the route. Take it how you want it. But I always joke that John will pace you for the first mile and then you won't see him again. And that typically that's what happens. John will just, yeah, he'll kind of let you think he got a shot. And then
And then he's off.
he's off. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
hilarious.
Yep. Yep.
Icon. He's gonna win.
Hmm.
We love that. No,
Hmm.
that is super, super cool. Good luck. I'm excited for you. I think it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see what you make of the Stanford Run Club in the future. I think you're gonna have like no unsanctioned races anymore. It's just gonna be like full blown.
Full
You're gonna
blown
go from
run.
like 5K, 10K, do all the things. It's gonna be really cool.
It's yeah, it's an amazing community, and I think that's kind of what I keep coming back to with it is I just can't believe that we were able to build something that people really want to be a part of. And I
Hmm.
when you see them come together like that,
Yeah,
I was looking into the crowd yesterday and I was like, man, this is a very inclusive group. And I just got
yeah,
so excited to see all different shapes and sizes, different ages, from all different backgrounds. I think that's
absolutely.
what's great about running too, right? Like it's a sport for anybody because you're just pacing against yourself. You're not well, I guess if you're in the pro group, then maybe you are racing against some people. But
Yeah,
um, by the way, 204 and 217 marathons, like I don't even
it
know.
makes me ill. Like, I can't.
It's just never, yeah.
And then have you like you
I
see them running in person, and they don't even look like they're going that fast. It's not a knock. It's just insane to watch the elites go by because they're running so damn fast.
I think it was my second New York City that I was able to watch them take off. I forget. I think there was one year I was able to watch them take
Mhm.
off, and I just thought
My God.
that's what I thought. That's what 2 hours looks like. I thought, okay, he's moving, but I wasn't like he didn't like shoot out of a barrel, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
I'm like, okay,
Even the elites go out slow.
I guess so.
Slow.
Up the Verrazano Bridge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the first that damn hill in the beginning.
it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. No, but that is so cool. And I do love how inclusive it is because I think a lot of people also get a little bit scared about run clubs because they feel like they're very exclusive and
Hmm.
very like pace shamey and things like that. And I feel like, at least from what I've experienced in the run clubs that I've gone to in the city, it feels like we're turning a corner in that sense, like for the better.
Hmm.
I think everybody's kind of becoming a little bit more inclusive. So it's really refreshing to hear that you guys have a space for everyone, which is really cool.
And that was something that I took from some of the other clubs that I had ventured into in the city
Hmm.
and thought, okay, especially for my first one, and I'll just draw on it. I went to a run with a group. This was my first year running, so this was 2022,
Hmm.
and I was not really, I was not slow, but I certainly wasn't an 8 minute guy.
Hmm.
And they were doing 8:30s, and I remember thinking like, this is not where I'm at, and I kind of fell all the way to the back of the run. And I remember how that felt, and I thought, all right, it doesn't feel great to be at the back. It doesn't kind of feel great to not be able to hang with the people that are in this group.
Hmm.
And I knew that when we started this run club, I thought, all right, I got to make sure there's a space for everyone. And so I actually, typically, I lead the run walk group, right? I
Hmm.
don't lead the other groups. We've actually got some amazing community members that lead our pacers for the other groups, and I lead the run walk. And that's just to show them that like, hey, there really is a space for everybody. We want you
Yeah.
to feel like you belong here. We get messages all the time. Can I bring my kid? Can I bring my dog? Actually,
Oh,
that's the other thing
that's
too.
really
So
cute.
there's a dog refuge here called Lucky Dog Refuge, and we kind of have a member that is really connected to them, and he brings one of their dogs to our runs each week,
Oh my
and he kind of
God.
tells their story, and they get adopted, which is so cool.
That's so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, it's really
Oh my
awesome.
God. I
So
love that so much.
yeah, so
That's
it
seriously
really,
like a great example of community coming together for real. For real, for real.
absolutely.
That is
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, Run Club is what it's called, but it's a community club, right? It's for
Yeah,
everybody to just kind of come together and get a little movement in. So
I
yeah,
love
it's
that.
awesome.
I love that. And how, so Lululemon made your shirts for
They
the Run Club. How, how do you even become a Lululemon ambassador? Like, and I know we're going to get there for the Boston Marathon, but for everybody, don't skip ahead because we have a lot more to talk about. But
okay.
AJ got taken care of in Boston. Like,
I yes,
insane,
yes.
insane. Tell us about that. How do you,
Okay.
and Kane and everything else you're involved in?
Um, so the Lululemon ambassadorship started last summer. and it actually was a more of a process. So it actually started the fall before I went into the store. And the way that Lulu works is they got community ambassadors. So in their stores, you see people's pictures. They're from the community usually. So they have a train ambassador, which is someone that does like the workout person.
Hmm.
They have their yoga ambassador, and they have their run ambassador. And so I went to the local store, one town over from me, introduced myself, kind of talked about who I was, and said I'd love to figure out how this works. And so they just happened to be restarting their program where they were bringing in potentially new people. So I
Hmm.
interviewed for it. I'm sure other people interviewed for it. And then last March or so, last March or April, they kind of said, "Hey, you've been chosen as our train." So I'm not their run ambassador. I'm their train ambassador.
Hey, but I mean,
Um,
if the shoe fits,
if
AJ, I
this,
would.
yes, yes. But there's a running joke, and I'll when we get to Boston, I'll have to talk about it. Um, and so that I kind of got that opportunity, and so they help support community events. They're very much involved in like the run club stuff that we do. They
It's
helped
really
us with
cool.
our both of our 5Ks. Yeah, they've been a huge support of kind of helping us grow the community, especially the stuff that we have going on here in Stanford. And so these are custom shirts for our leaders. They didn't do for everybody. So I had these made for the four leaders of the run club,
That's
but
awesome.
they've done shirts for the High Rocks camps that I'm running. Yeah, they're just they're trying to really, and I like the vision. And that was actually when I interviewed. I said, listen, it's got to be community focused, right? It's not
Yeah.
about me, right, as this figurehead. It's about what are we doing for the greater good of people
Hmm.
that are part of this community.
No, for sure.
So that's
For
always
sure.
where my head is, like, what can I do for my people?
I love that. And is that how your whole and for the listeners that don't know, you're not a runner. You're not only a runner. You are a runner. You're not only a runner. But you do high rocks. You participate in high rocks, which is something that kind of I feel like got a lot more popular this past year. If you'd
Mm,
say, I mean, if you'll agree, I've never done one because I'm terrified. Obviously, everybody knows this. But
just so we're clear, it's a running sport,
this
Allie.
is
It's a
true.
running
This
sport.
is
So you're a
true.
runner, which means you could do it.
This is true. This is true. But I need to work on the strength aspect of it. I'm kind of weak. I might look a
Not,
look
no,
strong, but
I
I'm
don't think
weak.
so. I don't think so at all. I think you're selling yourself short here a little bit, but
Maybe,
okay.
maybe. But yeah. So talk about high rocks, and is that how my original question was? Is that how you got involved with like the stuff you do at Lifetime for high rocks? Like, was that something that you created?
So Lifetime is not connected to the High
Oh,
Rocks.
you
That
do. You just do that like on the side.
yeah, and so 22 and 23, I ran both New York halves, so Brooklyn, New York City, and the New
Hmm.
York Marathon. I did that in 23 as well, and then 23 I
Hmm.
ran Chicago.
Okay.
But it was at the end of 23 that I was seeing these High Roxes, middle of 23, I take that back.
Hmm.
And they were starting to get bigger in the States because they're a global company and they've been huge around the world. And then the last few years, they've become more popular in the US.
Hmm.
And so it was in middle of 23, end of 23, I thought, oh man, I want to try that.
Yeah.
And I did my first one in 24 in New York. So last
That
year. And
was last
obviously
year.
that was last year. Robin did New York too. She did the New
Oh,
York High
she
Rock.
did?
She
Oh,
did.
wow.
Yep.
I didn't know
Yep.
that. I didn't know that.
Um, and I was like, oh, this is my
Yeah.
jam.
I feel
This
like
is
it's
this
made
is
for you.
it is because it combines both things that I love to do, right? I love to work out and feel strong, and I love to run. So
Hmm.
it's like the perfect mix. And for those that don't know, it's a 5 mile race, but it's broken up into 8 kilometers. So you run a kilometer, and then you've got some sort of exercise that you perform, and you do that 8 times. And so it's not 5 miles straight, and it's kind of, I'm gonna use this word again, inclusive for everybody because maybe you're not a great long distance runner, but you could do a kilometer, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So for those people that are not marathoners, but maybe you're half marathoners, right? You could easily do something like this.
No, for sure. It's a good
So
point.
again, another inclusive sport that people can get involved in.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, so I did my first New York, loved it, look hooked up with some people from the High Rocks community, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Hey, do you want to be a affiliate coach?" And
That's awesome.
so I started doing that last October, where I run these High Rocks camps um,
Wow.
to get people
That's
juiced up.
really, really cool.
Yeah,
How many have you done so far? It was just New York.
I've done
You've done like a bunch, right?
New York, Toronto, Anaheim, DC, four.
Toronto. Wow. 4. That's a
I,
lot.
I didn't like Toronto.
Really?
It wasn't my.
Why?
This is gonna make me sound silly, but um, I went to Toronto. I'd never been to Canada,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to Canada. I'm gonna like see somewhere new.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a city. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, it
I
is.
didn't get like feel like I was in Canada. I don't know. Maybe that's
Yeah.
silly, but
No, I don't think
um,
that sounds silly. I kind of had
yeah.
the same vibe when I was like in Niagara Falls, which
Mm,
obviously you have Niagara Falls, but other than that, what are you doing? Like it's
right.
just a city. You're like, oh, okay. I guess we'll go eat dinner or like do something random, right?
Right,
It's just
right.
the same thing across the board. What do you think of Anaheim?
Well, that's where Disneyland is, and
I know.
I never been there, and I've been to Disney World when I was younger.
Yeah.
And this is gonna again, I'm gonna make myself sound silly, but I'm like, you drive by Disneyland, it's just like this block.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
like
insane. Like
it's
it's
not.
because I mean to your point, like when I was a kid and I used to go to Disney, it was like this crazy, like you have to
Hmm.
drive miles and miles to even find like the parking attendant who's gonna like let you in to drive another like 5 miles to the parking lot. Like that was my whole thing because it was so tucked away. But
Yep.
I went to Anaheim for a work trip and I had the same experience. I was like, wait, I'm like at the gate of Disney and I'm like on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like you could literally
Yes.
hold on to the gate and like
Yes.
talk to people through the gate and you're like, I shouldn't be able to do this. It's insane.
I
It's
just, I don't know.
insane.
Again, I assumed it would be bigger and it wasn't. So
Yeah.
Disneyland's probably going to hate me that I'm saying that, but I was like not that
No.
impressed.
Did you go in?
No, I didn't. I was,
Oh my gosh.
you know, it's funny. I have a bad habit of this. Like, I treat these like business trips, except for
I
Boston, which
respect
we're going
that.
to get to. Like, so
Yeah.
this is actually a really good story. So last year for Toronto was on a Saturday.
Hmm.
The next day, our run club was a sponsor for a 5K in town.
Hmm.
And I was training for the New York City Marathon. So I had a long run scheduled on that Sunday.
Hmm.
On Saturday morning at 9:10, I did the Toronto High Rocks, went to the hotel, showered, got a ride to the airport, flew back to New York from Toronto that night,
Oh my God.
woke up the next morning, did a half marathon long run, and then did the 5K right
Oh my
after.
God. It's like I'm talking to myself. Because that is something I would absolutely do. It's like I want to sit here and be like, that's nuts. But like
Nope.
I completely get it. I completely
Yep.
get it. When you're in it, you're in it. You are in it. I know.
I don't know any other speed, just forward, right?
Totally.
Just
Totally.
forward.
I
So
love that. So on brand for you too.
really like 'cause the
It's
Chicago
so funny.
the Chicago thing with the Saturday 60, that infamous moment where
Oh my
I ran
God.
Chicago Marathon and the next day I took a Saturday 60 and everybody's like, dude, how are you even alive? I'm like, well,
I didn't
forward.
even know how you made it back to New York. I was like, I'm like, where are you?
Yeah, so Anaheim was the same thing. Anaheim, I did the Anaheim that night
Hmm.
or that day. Actually, I flew back the next morning. I take that back. It wasn't the same day. But I didn't like do like a visit. I was like in and out
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Um,
That's
so
so
yeah,
funny. That's so
yeah.
cool. When's your
They're
next
business
one?
trips.
Yeah, when's your next
Uh,
business trip?
this one is New York, so it's not a business trip.
Okay,
It's
fair.
a train ride to New York. But New York's gonna be mixed doubles on Saturday
Okay.
with a really good friend of mine, Courtney. And then on Sunday, I'm doing a relay with a couple guys. So we're actually going to compete twice.
Oh wow.
On brand, back to back
Very on
days,
brand.
very
Very
on
on
brand.
brand.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's so
yeah.
awesome. Is it still like at the pier? Was it at the pier?
Is at the pier right behind the Javits Center. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
That's cool.
you know, it's interesting because I know that they wanted to do it in the Javits Center, I think, but obviously the Javits Center. is very expensive, but I think doing it
Yeah.
outside just has a different feel, especially in New York in the summer.
And on the water. It's probably
Yeah, on
actually
the
really
water.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So
Don't
I think
touch
that
the
they,
water though. I'm not condoning that behavior. That would be
yeah, don't
crazy.
touch the water, and you're gonna get some smells you don't really necessarily
Yeah.
love. So
Yeah.
you got to work with that too.
But you survived. You're here to tell the tale. That's what
I Nothing
So
happened. I didn't catch anything. No viruses. No, I'm good.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's jump into it. So 2022, you first started running,
Hmm.
got a bunch of marathons under your belt, including New York and Chicago. And were you just like, I want to run Boston? Like, what was the thought process behind that? Because I know we briefly talked about it. I think like
Yes,
the last time I talked to you about it was like last year,
it
maybe,
was
and you
last
were
year.
like, "Hey, I need to submit for a charity now," and I was like, "What?" I don't
Hmm.
remember when it was, but it was a while ago.
Yep,
And then you were like, "No, I have to be accepted. You don't just get like
correct.
you can't just like sign up." So what was the
Nope.
thought process behind that?
So, well, first was 22 was the three, 20 or 22 was the
Hmm.
three, half full.
Hmm.
23 was half full,
Hmm.
and then 24 was half and then full. So like
Yeah.
no additional things last year. And this is going to be recorded, so this may come back to bite me at some point in the ass. Like this may. I don't have a lot of interest in flying overseas to do the other majors.
Hmm. I
Like, and
agree. I don't think
and
that's
I,
gonna bite you.
yeah, it's just not my thing. And I'm getting tremendous pressure to do it now. But so that's why I'm saying this is going
Same.
to come back full circle at some point to
Yeah.
bite me in the ass. Like, oh, you said you would never
You
do
and me
it.
both, because
Yeah.
everybody's trying to force me to do it after I quickly changed my mind. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Which one are you trying? Which one are they barking at you to do?
Sydney,
Oh, thank God they're not
which would
coming
kill
after me
me.
for that.
That
They're
would
coming
kill
after
me.
me for London. That because it's easy.
Well, yeah, I know. I would do London. I think London and Berlin are the
But
two.
hey, if you do London and Berlin, you're one away. Like what?
But like
Eh,
AJ, I
eh,
can't fly to Tokyo. I would be
I can't either.
I'm not a good flyer. Like I'm a pretty good flyer. Like if it's quick, whatever. I travel a lot for work, so like, and I travel a lot like for personal reasons. So like I fly a lot domestically, but something about a flight over the sea really freaks me out. Really, really freaks me out. Like when I
So
flew to
then,
Greece, I had to drug myself.
but then to run 26.2 after
Yeah,
you've done
with a
that,
time difference after sitting on a plane for
no,
11 hours,
no.
freaking out. Like I'm not just sitting there calm as a cucumber. I'm freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like my
Mm-hmm.
body would be so stressed.
I'm gonna get
So,
sick. I'm not gonna be able
yeah,
to run anyway.
I
What's the
know.
point?
I know. And I am always the one to get sick. Always. Always.
So,
It's horrible. But go ahead. Nobody's going to come for you. And if they do, they'll come
well,
for me too. So we're in
okay.
it together.
Well, and my thing is like that's why I'm so hesitant to do one of them because
Hmm.
if I do one, then you're like, well, you're two away.
I know.
What's the problem?
I
And I
know.
said, are you paying for the first class ticket so that I don't die on the plane? Are you paying for me to take a week off from work? Because I don't have that kind of money to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. So so anyway, so did those, and I kind of thought, all right, I want to do the three majors that are in the U.S.
Hmm.
And so then leading to kind of this one was all right, I'm never going to qualify. And I want to kind of put this out there to people. I'm not someone that runs 5 or 6 days a week.
Hmm.
And the truth is, I do believe this, to be a more elite runner who would qualify for Boston, I do think the 5 or 6 days a week thing is probably mandatory
Hmm.
unless you've got some really good genetics, right? And I don't have those. I'm 200 pounds. I'm muscular. So if I wanted to get to my qualifying time, which is about a 3 hour marathon, I'd
It's
have to run that
insane.
somewhere, which is just
It's
it's just
insane.
not in the cards for me. I like to train. I like to do other things.
Yeah.
So I'm not in that place. And I thought, all right, well, the only way I'd ever be able to do this is through a charity. And so then the next question was, it's got to be something I'm connected to, right? It just can't be, oh, I'm doing
Hmm.
a charity to do a charity. No, it's got to be something I believe in. And so I researched all the charities 2 years ago
Hmm.
and I found one last year for last year's Boston, but they had already filled their spots. So I said, all right, I will make next this year when it comes, I'll apply to the same charity. And so it was the Boston Athletic Academy. And they are an organization that supports inner city youth in Boston, both academically and athletically.
That's awesome.
And so, as someone who's a high school teacher and as someone who works in fitness, it just felt like the right organization to support. And
Yeah.
I love their mission. I love what they're doing. I love that they're working in the inner city. And I'm from Waterbury, Connecticut originally, which is very inner city. I live in Stanford. I lived in New York. So there's just a lot of ties for me that made total sense. And so I applied, went through the interview, did the application, and I was selected for the 2025.
It's
So
so cool. It's so
yeah.
cool. And what were you thinking when you reached your fundraising goal? Because those are serious numbers that you have to reach. And you don't have to share. I'm just saying in general, like Boston is known for having very, very high fundraising
Ex-
goals
Goals,
and
yes.
expectations. Yeah.
Yes.
So what were you like, I'm gonna raise the money this way, and this way? Or were you just like, I'm like, were you feeling it out at first? What was your strategy behind that?
Um, I think the things that I leaned into were my communities, right? So um my immediate friends and family that I had kind of talked with this about. Like I said, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. Do you think you'd be able to support me XYZ? And uh it's funny, I'm gonna even bring myself back even further. I used to work in politics. I worked in politics for about 10 years almost
Oh my God.
on
I
the
didn't know this.
campaign side. Yeah, on the campaign side. So I ran political campaigns, and I part of that was doing fundraising. And part of
Hmm.
how you do a fundraising campaign is you identify the people you want to raise money from and you ask them what they'd be willing to donate. And so I did that work ahead of time to know where I would kind of would be and
Hmm.
what I would need to raise beyond that.
Love that.
Um, and so I need to make sure, though, a huge shout out to the Lifetime community, the Peloton community, the Stanford Run Club community. Um, I'm going to say the Clubhouse podcast community, led by John Mills and those guys.
It's so
All of
cool.
those people just put me over the top very easily. They donated all kinds of things, and so I can't thank them all enough because the one thing I will say is I knew what I had, I knew what I had to get. They made that part real easy for me. Very,
That's
very
amazing.
easy. They just supported me no matter what. And so I can't thank them enough. I've got other friends that like did some matching donations too, which I can't thank them enough for that as well. But yeah, so the communities that I'm a part of just said, hey, we love what you're doing, AJ. We're going to support you. And so fundraising isn't easy, but they made it easy for me.
Yeah. I feel like they're just showing their gratitude toward you and how you help the community so much. So that's awesome. And they really got you to that start line, but they didn't just get you to the start line. You got yourself there. What were you feeling when you, I always, my first year, we talked about this a lot beforehand. I feel like at like the most random times, I'd be like, "How you doing?" I would say the same thing like over and over again. I'm like, "It's gonna be fine." Um, Boston, for those that don't know, is so unique because you have to take a bus to the start. I mean, I've never tried to Uber. I don't think I would ever Uber because that would just send me over the edge. You have to take a bus to the start. It's not a short bus ride. And when you get there, you either don't have any time, like I did, had no time, or you have time and you're just kind of sitting there like freaking out. And then you have to walk like almost 3/4 of a mile to the start line.
Side note, Allie and I tried to get a picture
We
before
did.
Boston,
We did.
and she went the other direction. She like walked into the start line. I'm like, Allie, they're not letting me in there. My pitch says yellow. Yours is a different
I
color.
was
They're
like,
not
just
letting me
push your way
past
in.
it. Yeah,
I'm like, just tell me you're going to the bathroom. It's fine.
yeah. The
Um,
bathroom at the start line with the
I
wrong
didn't
wave.
realize. I just didn't realize because in my head, I'm like, if we don't go off in the next half hour, why are we here together? But we did attempt. I was like, let me share my location. Then, of course, it wouldn't go through because I had no service. But I was so happy that I got to like chat with you for a few minutes before and wish you good luck because that just made me like it calmed my nerves. And I was like, oh, yay, I got to wish somebody good luck. Like last year, I sat here with the two people I met on the bus, but other than that, I didn't know anybody.
Right.
Um, but it's one of those that like I don't know. Just waiting there is so different than waiting in New York for me. I don't know
Oh
if it's because
yes.
it's like, and I don't know if you feel this way too, because you've lived in New York, you'd spend a lot of time there. I just feel like it feels like whatever, like we're just waiting to run a marathon. But Boston, there's just this weird, not pressure, but just it's different. It's just different. So I would love your take on like that your entire morning from start to finish. Like,
Okay.
what did you do when you woke up? What's your routine? How did you feel when you got to Hopkinton? How was the bus ride? All of the things.
So I'm a crazy person and I'm up at 4:20 every day, no matter whether I have to be or not.
Hmm.
Just the way the
Respect
body
it.
works. Yeah,
Hmm.
the body's just time to move.
Yep.
This day, I forced myself to stay in bed until 5 o'clock. I said, "You are not getting up. Stay in bed.
Yeah.
This is not the New York City Marathon. You are not taking a 3 hour trip from the city to Staten Island.
Hmm.
You are. This is a much shorter deal. Stay in bed."
Yeah.
So just did all the things. Packed the bag, got everything ready. I stayed at my friend's house in Malden, which is just outside of Boston.
Hmm.
And that was great because she drove me in, got to the bus, and then yeah, it's an hour bus ride, and it's interesting because in New York we have the hour bus ride, or
Hmm.
excuse me, 90-minute bus ride to Staten
Hmm.
Island, or you can do the bus to the ferry to the bus, whatever you choose,
Hmm.
right? This you're not. I have a different view. This
I
felt
mean, it's okay.
easier.
We this
This
is
felt
what this is why
easier.
we're doing it.
This is like so easy. I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting on the bus and then we're there. Great.
Yeah, getting to the bus is very easy in Boston,
Yeah.
for sure. Way easier than New
There's
York.
no stress about. I
Yeah.
don't. If you've never run the New York City Marathon, if you're taking the bus from down from Bryant Park, you sit in this crazy ass line that goes round, and
Hmm.
it's a maze to get on the bus. Boston, oh, you just got on the bus. Great, you're on the bus.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Um, and then you get there, and I like this to some degree.
Hmm.
It was light out, and my body had time to wake up.
Yes. It's a very like because it starts a little later
Mm-hmm.
and your body has time to wake up. I mean, I ate two breakfasts. I always do when I start that late.
Two breakfast. What did you eat?
Hmm. Well, I ate at 6:30 I had a bagel and a banana, and then at 8:30 I had two uncrustables like a child. But you
Oh,
need it.
okay.
You need it. Two breakfasts before Boston,
Two
always.
breakfasts before Boston.
Always.
Maybe
Always. Always. Always.
I wasn't under fuel, but that might have been something to. I
Mhm.
did bagel with butter, toasted, and banana.
Mhm.
Two nice sized Gatorades,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, I
real,
drank Gatorade.
the
I didn't even drink
yeah,
water. I just drank Gatorade.
just Gatorade. Um, and that was it. I didn't do a second eating.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just something to think about. But
Something
it
to
might not
think
work for
about.
you. Who knows?
Yeah.
Works for me because I get
Well,
hungry. Like I'll like if I eat so early because I don't typically eat breakfast like super early. Like I'll get my
okay.
workout in when I'm training and then I'll eat. Um, so the second one always helps.
Coffee or no coffee?
Coffee, always first.
Okay.
Always
Got it.
give it time to work,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we'll
Yeah.
be on our way.
We'll be on our way. Okay.
But yeah,
This was the first marathon I did no coffee.
interesting. How did you
Yeah.
feel?
Well, I I still had caffeine, so I drank like half of an energy drink to give me some caffeine.
Hmm.
Um,
Do you have caffeine gels?
no.
I don't do them either.
Yeah, they're
I was
not.
just
That
curious.
doesn't. Yeah, it
Yeah, it doesn't
doesn't.
sit well with
Doesn't.
me. Mm-mm.
Yeah, same here. And I don't want to ride the highs of that. If sometimes caffeine gets me, sometimes it doesn't. If it gets me, I don't want to be doing any of this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Same.
um, yeah. So no caffeine gel. And actually, I'm not a gel. I'm a gummies. I want to eat something.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I want to eat something.
I've never tried, but I
I'm
need to.
hungry. I'm hungry, so I
I
want to eat.
know. I know.
And the gel's not food. It's just like sucking down some weird thing.
Second
So no,
breakfast.
no,
Second
no. Yeah,
breakfast. I'm telling you,
yeah.
it's a game changer. It's a game
Okay.
changer.
Well, New York, what time do we start New York? 9. What time? Wave 1, 9, 8,
9:20 or
9,
9:15.
20. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could do 2 next this year. We'll see.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta try
Especially
it.
Boston because, I mean, I started at 10:25, but I just always
Yeah,
stop everything 2 hours before. But even then, I'm
right.
like starving. By the time 16 miles comes around, I'm like, okay, enough of the gels. I'm gonna throw
They
up.
have to invent food that you can
Yes.
eat while running that's not going to upset your stomach that'll help you on the run.
Hmm.
Like food though, like not,
Yeah, not like gels. Like we need
yeah,
something more.
I need to eat something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. So what did you do when you got to Athletes Village? Did you have time?
I had
Oh, well,
time.
you
Yeah.
had
So
time.
I had time. So I got there at, I ran at 11:15. I got there around 9. So I
Okay.
had 2 hours. Yep. So,
How did they let you on the bus? Was there
because it was
like
a
a
charity bus. It was a charity bus.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So charity bus, you go to and I was in the gym. Like I had told you, I was in the gym.
Mhm.
So I was, it wasn't cold out, but I had a closed, closed door space where it wasn't out in the elements, I guess. Um, Private bathrooms there, which was nice. The bathrooms
Amazing.
weren't destroyed by other people, which is great.
Amazing. I love that for you.
And I just went through all my stretching, kind of got ready. Yeah, that was nice actually. That was a good experience like in the beginning.
Mm.
Um, of course, but Chicago was the easiest because literally you just walk up to Chicago and you're done, right?
Insane. The difference between all of
Um,
them is insane.
it's
Yeah, Chicago,
ridiculous.
I literally ran through the chute because I was late. And they're like, okay, show us your bib.
So I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chicago's easy, right? I would list Boston second, and then New York is just miserable. Like
Yeah.
that's
New
just
York
like the
just
most,
sucks.
yeah, most miserable one. So yeah, so got there, had 2 hours to kill. I did see a couple of people that I knew that were running. One of my members from Lifetime was running, which was great.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, and then you do that quarter, no, 3/4
It's
mile
far.
walk. I actually jogged some of it to try to warm
So
myself
did
up,
I. And then I did
but
Striders around the porta potties
oh, that's a good
down there.
idea.
Yeah.
But how about the CVS is right there? That was so nice. They need
So
to make a
clutch.
CVS in the New York Village. Like, can you just build a
Yes.
CVS, like a
Yes.
portable CVS for the day?
If we can bring
Um,
Dunkin' to the New York Athletes Village, we can bring CVS.
so that was I went in there. I got a couple things. I got some gum. I was like, oh, I want to chew some gum right now. Like so,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
was
Yeah, it comes in
yeah,
clutch for sure.
that was great. I love that for I love that for myself and for everybody else.
I love it for you and everyone. No, that's so cool. So what were you thinking when you walked to the start line? Because I remember my first year running Boston was last year, and everybody was like taking everything, like use the first one as like whatever, have the fun, and then when you come back, like really like have your goals or have this, have that. Um, but I just remember completely panicking last year at the start line. Not even really completely panicking, but I was really nervous because it's like a
Hmm.
different, you have this moment of gratitude. But yeah, what were you feeling when you walked up to the start? Did you have a plan? Do you have a strategy?
No,
I
and I
love
know
it.
that that's not typical, and I think for a couple reasons. So first, I was teary eyed. Like
Hmm.
I was getting emotional just thinking about like this is a pretty big accomplishment you're about to embark on.
Yeah.
Um, and I couldn't believe that I was there. Like for that moment, I was like, oh man, I'm here, right?
Hmm.
Um, and this is something that I'm working on like as a person, kind of celebrating the wins because I'm so used to accomplishing a goal and then moving to the next thing and not
Hmm.
and kind of taking it all in. So I did my best to just sort of be like, man, this is great. Like you're at the
Yeah.
Boston Marathon, you can see the Hopkinton sign. This is historic, right? So I was getting emotional. I was like, man, this is amazing. But I didn't have a plan and I wasn't nervous. And I think I wasn't nervous because the high roxes that I've done, you start in this box and
Hmm.
there's this very crazy countdown and then you shoot out of the box and
The opposite of the
having
elites running the
the
marathon.
right, the opposite of the elites. And so I think that having done that, having done multiple marathons, having done all
Hmm.
the New York Roadrunner races, there was no intensity around the start for me. I was like, oh, we're gonna start running. This is
Yeah.
great. No problem. Beautiful weather. I'm not cold. My hands don't hurt, like from the being like from the blood rushing to my inside of my body, like towards my
Hmm.
heart. Everything feels great. And so I was fine. I was totally relaxed. And actually, I know it was because multiple people who saw my photos, because funny enough, I don't know if you knew this. Do you know that people that track you can then see your photos when they get uploaded? Did you know that?
No, they can see your
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah. So people are
This is
messaging
like
me
my worst
yesterday
nightmare.
and they're like, they're like, you look so in your element because I was relaxed. I was never.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the, really quick, I actually have two injuries also. So my left Achilles, I have Achilles tendonitis. It's been there for about a year and a half now, and I just
Mhm.
power through it. And my right knee has got very bad tightness that forms after about 12 miles. So the last, it was 14 this time. So the last 12 miles, my entire right knee was like in incredible pain
Oh, it's
for the
horrible.
last 12. So, but anyway, people are like, but those things didn't bother me. I was just chilling. Like I
Yeah.
was just so happy to be there running this marathon. So from the start, I was not nervous. I was just,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like this year I had a very similar journey. Like a lot of people had seen me on the course were like, "You just looked so happy to be there," and I was like, "I really was. Like I was just having
Hmm.
a good time." Obviously, I had the Achilles thing. I was very much in pain from like mile 16 on because I knew that the hills were kind of killing me. Um, but yeah, like once I kind of reframed that in my head, I'm like, you know what? I'm just happy to be here. Like I
Hmm.
didn't care about going up the hill slower, didn't care about not being able to like shoot down the Newton Hills. I'm like, I made it. I hit my goal, did whatever I wanted to do. And yeah, am I in pain now? Of course, but it's kind of just the choice we make. But no, I love to hear that because I think as runners we grow so much too. Like I even from my first Boston to my second Boston, I was like, wow. Because on Monday I was, you have like a little bit of nerves, whatever. But I wasn't nervous about being able to accomplish it. I wasn't nervous about being able to cross the finish line. I was just more nervous about like, okay, there's a good chance I'm going to have some pain. When is it going to hit? Like that was
Yep.
literally the only thing that I was nervous about. And you know how it is. Like you kind of when you get to the start line, they really move you. So it's kind of
Yep.
like you don't have the time to panic. And there was like this
Sure.
sense of calm this year, which I really, really liked. So it's refreshing to hear from someone else too. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's no, you're just, and again, same as you, I was just like, when is the pain gonna come? And
Hmm.
I'll manage it. Last New York was worse. Last New York, it started at mile 12 and I dealt with it for 14 miles. So I
Oh,
had two less miles in Boston and the Achilles felt better because it warmed up
hmm.
this year. Last year it did not. Last year it
Yeah.
just got worse and worse. So
Yeah.
yeah, just chilling. Just like,
I love that.
we
And
got to
what
talk about these hills, by the way. We got to get to these
yeah, yeah,
hills.
we got to get to the hills and I'm going to pick your brain about my Achilles after we're done
Okay.
recording. Um yeah, tell me about the hills. Tell me first I need like your number one hot take on the course. And
Okay.
then yeah, tell me about the hills.
All
What
right.
your
I'm
opinion
giving you two
was.
hot takes. I'm giving you
Give me
two.
as many as you have.
New York is my favorite marathon. It
Me
will
too.
always be my favorite marathon. But finishing in Boston, in the city, those last two, I get it now. I
Yeah, it's
get it.
crazy.
I respect it. There's nothing like that. And so
Mhm.
shout out to the city of Boston because that was amazing. Finishing in Central Park is great. That was unrivaled. I've never, you cross the monument that they have.
Mhm.
You see all the people yelling. You see this giant arch, and I was crying. Like, I'm not, not crying like sobbing, but like crying like, wow, this is
Mhm.
just amazing.
It's surreal. It really is. And I want to sound like as inclusive as possible as when I say this. Like I really hope that everybody has a chance to experience it, whether it's through the marathon or the 5K and I hope the BAA makes the finish line more finish lines for like the distance medley and the things that they do because it is like quite literally nothing like I've ever experienced before. It is the most insane, like insanely special moment when you hit the finish line on Boylston. It
Yeah,
really is. And it
yeah,
brings me to tears every single time. Because, like, to your point, New York is cool because you're in Central Park, but there's just, I don't know what it is.
something about it.
It's
There's
just,
something
there
about
is
it.
just
Yeah.
something so special about it. So I love that hot
Yes.
take. And
Yeah,
I'm in
that's a
agreement.
hot take. Yeah, I love New York. New York is my favorite
Me
place,
too.
But that's one. The second thing is those hills were not that bad. This we got to stop hyping these hills up.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
not look listen. Did I run a smart race in that I took everybody's advice and for the first 16 miles I didn't have an out of
Mm-hmm.
body experience and try to run the fastest 16 miles ever? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like running 10-minute mile the first three. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna whatever, right? And I can
Yeah.
run an 8 or an 8:30 if I need to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was going much slower.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
Smart.
why I was more prepared. Maybe. But I got to the first one and I looked to some guy who's to my right. I said, was that one of the hills? He goes, yeah. I said, come on, give me a break. That wasn't the hill. He goes, yeah,
I
that was
know.
one of them. I was like, all right, where's the next one? I'm like
I know.
joking. And these people are looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Because some of them are huffing up, right? And I'm,
It's hard.
yo,
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. It's really, and I think this is one of the things you and I talked about when I was like, they're really not that bad. It's just the placement of it because your calves are cooked, your quads just, oh my God, like everything hurts by that point. I hate the first one. I always know the first one's there.
really?
I don't know why. There's something about it. I think it's because you curve and you can't see the top. So I get like immediately very discouraged. But then by the
Oh, but
time you like try to talk
yeah,
yourself down, you're up. Like they're quick. And I think
yeah,
people get scared, so scared of the hills because they're like, oh, that's all these miles in a row. But like what they don't recognize is that you're going up a little bit and then you literally have like miles in between each one.
yeah,
And then you like go up the second one and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then the third one you're like,
yeah.
oh, that wasn't bad. Heartbreak is the most misleading hill of them all. I think people just get scared because it's the last one and maybe it's the steepest, but it's the quickest. It's absolutely the quickest. It's
I
crazy.
was, I, this is gonna get me in trouble. I wasn't
No,
impressed. I was not.
listen, I respect it.
Give me some more hills. You
This
got
is why we're
more?
doing this. Give me more hills when I have a
Give me
fully
more
healed
hills. You got
Achilles.
more?
Okay, when I
Um,
have a fully healed Achilles, I'll take every hill. Until
um,
then, I don't want to see another one.
another one. I did some hill work. So I mean, we've
Yeah.
got a great hill in Stanford that leads up to our hospital, and it's about a kilometer, well, maybe short,
Mhm.
maybe it's like 750 meters up and then
Mhm.
750 down. And I just did, I'd run a mile or two before, warm up the body, and then I would do hill repeats, right? So I would do 7 or 8 hill repeats, and then I would finish with 1 or 2 miles. So
Mhm.
I, and that hill to me was steeper than anything we just ran.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like 3% is the
that's what
max.
someone
Maybe
said.
3 to 3.5.
Someone said I
Listen,
think
I'm not
the
knocking
heartbreak
it.
is
It's
4%
maybe.
for on a treadmill. I thought you got. There's
I
a
think
picture of
it's
me.
just because yeah, like
There's a
keep
picture of me
going.
coming down Heartbreak Hill, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like I'm going crazy because I'm like, that was it. Like literally, that was it. This
I
is what you're
know.
scared of. Come to the Fifth Avenue at mile 23 when you got nothing left and you got to go two
Oh
miles
my
up Fifth
god.
Avenue.
I
Then
know.
you talk to me about hills.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
don't know.
I think everybody has such a different take on this, which is why I love that you're willing to share your hot take. Because I will go to my grave saying that the first one knocks me on my ass every time. Every time.
Really?
But the other ones, it's funny, like I have the same thing. Somebody was running next to me. I saw her on the Newton Hills and at the second one she's like, "Oh, 2 of 4." I'm like, "What?" That was it. Like I just wasn't thinking, but then at the same time, I'm like, okay, that wasn't that bad. And you kind of go through the motions of talking yourself down, and then when you're over heartbreak, it's like okay. And then I'm sorry, forget the Newton Hills for a second. The one when you go into Brookline and they give you that evil like you're going so far down heartbreak, right?
Oh,
And then you go
yes.
into Brookline and it's like this crazy steep, like whatever. I'm like
Yes.
that was worse than the Newton Hills.
That was probably, yeah, that was probably worse. Yeah, I
Because you're
get that
just
would,
recovering. You're trying to like
yes,
recover from the
try to come
five
down from
miles or
it.
whatever. That's crazy.
I
But I'm
mean,
not knocking it. It's very hills are something that like I think at least I'm happy that I started incorporating like hill workouts, like hill speed workouts
mm-hmm,
into my weekly rotation for marathon
mm-hmm.
training because it helped me significantly this year. Not that I didn't do any of it last year, I just didn't do enough
Yep,
in my opinion. But that just,
yep.
some things just I don't know, sometimes it doesn't help for people, sometimes it does. But
I mean, I knew that I had to do some of it because my runs in Stanford, while there's some elevation gain, there's
Hmm.
not enough of it, I thought, to mimic what I thought was coming.
Hmm.
And so, also my strength training builds my quads in a different way than runners build when they do hills, right? So my quads are strong, which means they can take more of a beating going up a hill than
Hmm.
than maybe a runner who doesn't do as much strength training. And that's part of my program that I do, right? So
Hmm.
um, but I knew I had to do some hill work, so I just threw it in there and thought, all right, this is what I'll do, and we'll see if I survive. I mean, look, this is the other thing too, and for the listeners, right? For those that don't know, I ran a 4:10 marathon.
It's
Um,
amazing.
I stopped for about 3 or 4 minutes and saw some family. And the truth is, if my knee didn't feel like death, I easily would have been sub 4. Like there's no question I had that in me. And
Yeah.
so, but to give perspective, for listeners, maybe this would have been a 3:56 or a 3:57 with a good knee and no stopping, right? Um, Maybe that's the difference because I'm going a little bit slower than someone who's attacking it like a 3:20, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that changes how the hills feel when you're attacking it at quietly a different, 30 or 40 minutes faster, right?
No, for
So
sure.
that's my perspective from someone who's running about a 4 hour marathon. Could be different than someone running 3:20, 3:18. You did
Hmm.
3:14. What did you do?
318.
3:18. So it could be different. Even someone maybe closer to three or whatnot. So
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
just perspective on that too, because I do run a little bit slower, so maybe it feels different for me. But those
Yeah,
hills are
no.
not that bad. I'm not scared of those hills. Bring them back. We'll do them again whenever they're
You're
ready.
gonna have to come back to Boston.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, raise another $25,000. Um, um, did you have a favorite part of the course?
The end.
Yeah, it really like the turn. It's and again, for those that don't know, it's like you're coming out of Brookline, you're finally going into the city. You run underneath an overpass that says Boston Strong, and then you're like, "Oh my God, I'm almost there." And you kind of have this little freak out moment where you're like, I don't know. I always get this at the end of a marathon where I'm like, oh, you're like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. Like, I'm in pain. I'm this, I'm that, like, whatever. And you have these like demon style thoughts in your head. But then when you finally reach the last like
Hmm.
kilometer, you're like, oh my God, like it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those that don't know, you run under that little overpass. And then they give you one last hill to part ways.
Yes.
And, and then you make the right on Hereford and the left on Boylston. And it's the most electrifying feeling in ever. And one of the most like I don't know, we talked about it a little bit, but I always have a moment there where I think this year I was audibly like, "Oh my god." Like when I turned the corner I was like, "Oh my god. It's over." And I was so happy. I was like sad it was over. I was so many emotions all at once. But then when you reach
Hmm.
Boylston, you have like a decent amount of time left to the finish line. Like you can see it, but it's
Oh
really
no, you're
small,
still running. You're still
really
running. Yeah, oh
small.
yeah, you're still
And then
running.
you're on
Yeah.
there for like a good 4 minutes.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you're running for a while, but it is the craziest feeling. So that's one of my favorites too. I
Yeah,
agree.
I think that's got to be it. I can't imagine it's something else. Like, I mean, for those that don't know too, like Boston's really a straight line. Like it's from
Hmm.
one spot to the next. There's not a lot of twists and turns like with the New York where you're going left here, this borough, right in this borough, over this bridge, around the corner.
Hmm.
It's very much a straight line, and so when you get there and you see the crowd, even the underpass crowd, like there's people all lined up those last 2.5 miles. I remember
Yeah,
seeing mile 24 and like being surrounded by people. And I'm like, okay, two and a half,
you
two
got it.
point two go. Like, and there's just people everywhere. And I'm like, okay, this is,
Yeah,
like I said, when I got to the city and it was just people after people after people, I was like, okay, I get it now.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it now.
It's
So
different. It
yeah,
hits different. It's the most insane experience ever.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
I no, I love that so much, and I mean, it sounds like you had a great day out there. We had good weather, great weather.
I don't think I can run it ever again because I've been told the weather is so iffy and I
Oh
had the
yeah,
best weather. So I think I got to
yeah.
go out on top, right? Good run, great
I
weather,
respect that.
amazing. And we got, and really quick, we'll dive into this too. So, the Lululemon ambassadorship afforded me this really great opportunity where for the weekend they host you. And so the Lululemon store on Newberry Street, huge shout out to their team, Chris Capozzi and LJ. They they have a locker for you. They have a shower for you. They
It's
have
unreal.
foam rollers, recovery boots, hyper ice guns, water, food. They were such amazing hosts all weekend. I remember I got in early Friday. I was like, "Hey guys, I'm AJ from." Oh, AJ, nice to meet you. Can I leave my stuff here? I know I'm early. Sure. Left all my stuff. Went
It's
to
so
the
nice.
expo. Got my bib. Like they were tremendous, and so I'm incredibly honored and I'm grateful for that opportunity from both them and from Lululemon because that was that when I got the email that we had access to that, I was like, I'm good. My
Yeah.
weekend's good. I'm good.
You don't even have to
Someone's
worry
got a
about anything.
shower for me after the marathon. Someone's got a locker for me after the marathon. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm sold. Sold. So and it's literally around the block from the finish line. So there's no 18-mile walk like in New York
Oh
to
my
get out of
God, I
that
know.
place. I'm
And
just
I'm
around the
lucky. You're
block
lucky
and
if you
I'm
make it to
there.
the Equinox in Columbus Circle.
They gotta
It's
fix
insane.
that. Can they fix
Yeah.
that? There's got to be a better way to do that.
Please, New York, we need a change. We need it to be like Boston. And then when you finish on Boylston, you can just like do a little loop and go around to Newbury and you're like in
Yeah,
the middle of it all the
yeah.
excitement. It's crazy. It's so
Or in New
crazy.
York, they make you walk to 77th Street and they walk back down to 60th to
Yeah,
get
and
to
you'll
that.
see your family at 9 o'clock at night. Like you'll meet up with them. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, before we wrap, one last question for you. How did you celebrate your first Boston Marathon finish?
Not that exciting. I know. I don't have a good.
It's
All
okay.
right. So
I
I
waited
left.
for my family for like 2 hours. I got a portrait. That was it.
So I left there. I went to shout out to Bandit and got my metal portraits done.
Same.
I love that they do that, by the way.
It's
That's like one
so
of my
cool.
favorite things.
It's one of those things where I'm like, if I miss it, I will genuinely be
Be
upset.
upset.
And
Yeah.
not because I don't have another photo of myself with my medal. It's just because it's so fun to like see a
Yeah.
familiar face and they have
Yep.
drinks and they have like it's like a party. It's so
Yep.
fun. It's so
They do
fun. That
such a
crew
good
is
job for their
awesome.
community too. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So I did that, and then all right. So there is a good quick story as we wrap here. So I walk out of there, and one of my former students from high school, the high school I used to teach at,
Hmm.
lives in Boston and goes to Northeastern. He meets me outside of Bandit. So
Wait, by chance or did you plan this?
well, he messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm around. Can I come see you, Mr. Schrag?" And I'm like, "Sure." So he meets me outside Bandit. Him and I walk to Lululemon together. We talk the whole
Oh,
time. We catch up. And on the way to Lululemon, I see another former student who
no
lives in
way.
Boston and goes to college there. They're both seniors now. So of
What?
course they make me feel mad old because they're seniors, and I'm like, I just taught these kids like, what the hell's going on here? And so him and I walk to Lemon after we see this other student. We chat for a bit. We walk back. He brings me to the T line, and then we part ways. So, and then my parents did drive up. They saw me at mile 16.
Love it.
They weren't able to see me beyond that because it's just crazy getting into
Yeah.
to Boston. So I met them back at my friend's house in Malden. Scarfed down 5 pieces of pizza,
Hell yeah.
and a Sprite. By the way, that was I wanted a Sprite so bad. I don't know
I
what
know I
that was
wanted a
about.
Coke so bad. All I wanted was a Coke.
There's something
That
about a
was it.
soda at the end of a race. I just want a soda. I don't know
I
why.
never drink soda.
Um,
Never. And I'm like, I need a
Never.
Coke. I'm
You
like,
need
I
a
need a
Coke.
Coke right now. That and on
Yeah.
the way home because I was nauseous. I'm like, please get me some sugar. I love
But that
that.
but that was it. Yeah. So I think I'll celebrate more this weekend because I'm gonna like take myself and I might get some brunch with some friends. But other than that, like, it was just I'll say this. How about that? I celebrated finishing the Boston Marathon when I got that medal and I was walking to the end of Boylston and just thinking about what I had accomplished, right? Three
Hmm.
major marathons in the last 4 years, all the US ones, all the halves, uh, and recognizing that with my story, it really is if you want to change who you are and you want to change what you do with some work and some patience, you can do that. Because if you
Yeah.
had told me I was a runner 4 years ago, I would have said, you're out of your freaking mind.
Yeah.
And fast forward 4 years, and I'm
Ran the
definitely a
Boston
runner.
Marathon,
I ran the Boston Marathon,
and you're a
and
damn runner.
I'm
You
a
are.
runner.
You
Yeah, for
really are.
sure.
I
So
love it. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for sharing and thanks for being here. I'm so happy we got to catch up. Sorry that we didn't see each other at the start line, but I love that we got to do our a little debrief.
I
How
love
fun.
this. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a great experience, and for all the listeners, Allie is amazing. You guys should take all the advice from her.
Stop.
She knows everything that she's talking about. So make sure you guys listen in. And again, Allie, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, of course. And same about AJ too. I'm not going to let him get that compliment in without complimenting him back because he's helped me so many times. But thank you so much for being here. This was awesome.
Thank you too.